Hi, welcome to the Crest Network. In this series, we've been talking about sales prospecting the right way. This is the fourth part of a four-part series. I want to talk to you today about your 30-second speech, and I'm hoping we can narrow that down to 15 seconds. We're going to talk about the buying process. We're going to talk about a transfer of ownership and the handling of the word no when they tell you no. I'm Dick Wagner, looking forward to sharing this with you today. Your 30-second speech. Well, you just heard me say, let's get this thing down to a 15-second speech. First, there are only three main components for the majority of you, for the majority of what you are selling to your prospects and clients. Those three components consist of telling them who you are, telling them what's in it for people like them, and telling them what's in it specifically for them personally. It might go something like this. Hi, I'm Ladd with Prep. In other words, keep it simple. Notice we're not saying the last name. No need for you to tell them your last name. Secondly, if you're working for XYZ Water Extraction Company, you don't need to tell them that either. Tell them you're with PREP. What is PREP? It's a national program, Priority Response Emergency Plan. It's a national program, and that's who you're with. So, hi, I'm Dick with PREP. I'm Ladd with PREP. I'm Rachel with PREP. Bottom line, keep it simple. And yeah, on top of all of that, if we can keep this to 15 or 30 seconds, the nice thing about it is when it's memorized, you don't forget it. When it's memorized, nobody can throw you a curveball. It doesn't get you off track. Your 30-second, or as I said, your 15-second speech. Hi, I'm Ladd. We have helped hundreds of hotels put a program in place to help get heads back in beds quickly. That's what's in it for them. We hear all the time that when calamity strikes, there is lost revenue, there's a damaged reputation, and there's a lot of aggravation and worry. Any of these things that I mentioned, are they ever any cause for concern for your hotel? Folks, in the yellow box at the bottom of this screen, I have put the whole saying, that whole introduction, that whole 15 seconds down here. So if you want to do a screenshot, you can do that. And then other than changing your name to the appropriate name, most everything else is pretty accurate and will work wonderfully for you. The 5 basic buyer steps in the buying process are as follows. They have an initial interest or curiosity. Hey, that's a good start. And then they want to learn more about what's involved. We're moving deeper. The prospect begins to think in terms of actually having that program, the PREP program in this case, actually implemented within their organization. And then they start to rationalize why they ought to sign up for it, because it does require a signature. And once they have signed up for it, or once they're ready to sign up for it, they've gone through that rationalization, then they make the decision to either buy it or to not buy it. That's the simple way. Some people say there's 7 or 10 or 9 different buyer steps. These are the 5 that we have found are pretty typical, and you need to expect or anticipate that those are going to be the steps that most people follow. As for the transfer of ownership, that's when they actually start selling themselves to you. That's when they start telling you why they would be a good fit for your program. But this doesn't usually happen until after you've asked them a series of 2 or 3 or 4 power questions to get them thinking and to get them engaged. The objective is always to know and to learn and know and state their goals and their wants and their needs and their desires within the organization. And only after they've actually become engaged in the conversation will they start to take ownership. And even better is repeat back to them some things that they've said to you to clarify, and that gets them even more involved. The handling of no. There's a whole separate series on what a no is worth. And that's coming in a future training segment, a video training segment. So I'm not going to go into that part today. I just simply want to remind you that you're going to get a no if they don't trust you. You're going to get a no if they don't need what you're offering. You're going to get a no if there's absolutely no help for them in what you're offering. And if they're not in any hurry, if you haven't created urgency, if you haven't made them thirsty, and they're not in any hurry, then it's a no, and pretty much you're out of luck. If there's no trust, such as I've never heard of you, or I would have to know a whole lot more to be willing to consider this, or if there's no need, for example, they already have a plan in place, or they are friends with one of your competitors that has a pre-disaster plan, or there's simply no help for them. In other words, what you're offering, they just can't see any reason why this might be good for them. Or, and to me, this is one of the bigger ones, they're not in any hurry. That's because you haven't shown them the need for urgency. Or maybe they've got bigger fish to fry. Maybe they've got bigger issues to deal with. Or maybe they don't see the value, so they're just stalling. The presentation of what you're offering is hands down the easiest part of the sales process. The number one most difficult part will be getting in front of the decision maker or getting in front of the decision influencer. If you can't achieve that, you can't do a presentation. If you can't do a presentation, you can't make a sale. And then the second part of that sale is weeks and months and years down the road. And that's about building and maintaining a long-term relationship. They need to be, your phone number needs to be on their cell phone. They need to have your non-destructible business card in their wallet or their purse. Maintaining and building the long-term relationship will be the biggest challenge you have when you're working with and trying to develop a great client portfolio. I'm Dick Wagner. This was part 4 of a 4-part series. I hope you will, if you have not seen parts 1, 2, and 3, I hope you'll go back and watch parts 1, 2, and 3, and then even rewatch part 4. I think the whole series then will make great sense to you. And don't forget, as a Crest Elite member, You have personal access and coaching to me, and you also, as a Crest Elite member, have personal access and coaching to Bill Giannone as well. And Bill, I know, would love to work with you on administration and financial issues that you might have as an owner of your own company. Again, thanks for watching. This is the Crest Network. Talk to you soon.